Hey there, folks. Just gonna do a bit of audio testing before we begin. How's everyone doing today? Welcome, welcome. My name is Coinstamp. Welcome to the pre-stream. I want to sincerely apologize for my lateness. Should not have happened. But, let's just say my sleep did not cooperate with me. And I'll leave it at that since my time is limited today. Okay. Greetings, everybody. Coinstamp here. Or you may call me Steven. And I go by other names. Feel free to ask. Call me whatever will make you feel more comfortable. And welcome back to what will be the final episode in the Lies of P Let's Play as far as the first time playthrough is concerned. How are we all doing on this fine Friday afternoon? I'm gonna go ahead and fire up the game, but before we do that, I do want to thank our one-time contributors and continuous contributors today. First, I'd like to thank continue to thank Grasby for their $20 donation on I'm sorry, I'm completely broken right now. I'd like to thank him for his donation on coffee. That's where the donation happened. Maybe I should put a little indicator on like where it came from, because I've got them all mixed together. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I'll have to do that when I come back from my client's house on Sunday. But yeah, thank you again, Raspy. Very much, your contributions are very much appreciated, friend. And then I'd like to thank Devious Grace for gifting a sub to Kayak85, Kayak85, excuse me, I'm not sure if I said it right the first time or not. But thank you for that tier 1 subscription. Kayak. I'm sorry. I'm gonna commit to one. Kayak. Please feel free to correct me if it's Kayak. But Kayak, if you're listening, I hope you enjoy those tier 1 benefits this month. I hope that you grab the sweet emotes and you make good use of them, my fine friend. And you join the Discord so that you can get access to, extra Discord perks and stuff like that. Thank you. Thank you again to Devious Grace for that. She works really hard. I'm gonna give her a shout out before we get started, because our time, again, is quite short, and I will explain. And I'll also have a story update for you. Water got fixed. Had I woken up on time this morning? Well, had I not fallen back asleep and then actually gotten up the first time, is what I should actually say. Sorry, I couldn't quite get to the mic in time. Because I was already right on the cusp of coughing. Anyway, I'm distracting from the inevitable. If you guys haven't gone to check out Devious Grace, please do so. She works hard on her content, and she's also someone who loves working with fur babies, from what I understand. And I want to say she's also a stylist. It's been a while since I've talked to her about it. So I'm not 100% sure, but please go check her out. Go check out her content. She mainly streams stuff like Friday the 13th, and but she does do a little bit of everything, as she has corrected me on quite a few occasions, especially with Fallout 4 being in the mix. I didn't really think she was into that stuff when I first encountered her channel. I guess I know better now. Now, the water's working. And I've got warm cup of coffee. I'm a happy person, at least for the time being. Before we begin, a recap, because the last episode was a doozy. We defeated, well, actually the last 2 episodes were a doozy. Episode 14B, Living Proof 2.0, we defeated Lacecia, and then we proceeded to get a little bit of lore and a bit of a life update for Miss Antonia. She passed. Paulandina couldn't handle the grief, and he mentally seppuku'd. He gave up his ergo, which might as well be the equivalent of KYS or KMS, excuse me. Yeah, he mentally deleted himself. I don't know if Data ever did any kind of mental deletions like that, but if he did, he pulled a Data. What can I say? Data as in the Star Trek Data. As in the version of Star Trek everybody is most familiar with. The one with Picard in it. Anyway, over-explaining. Over-explaining complete. Everyone else felt sad. And that was really about the extent of it. We learned a bit of lore, we upgraded a weapon, and all that fun stuff. Then in episode 15, Touched by God, we started the long slog up the rest of the Abbey to not only find Geppetto, a grade S scumbag, and S is to be taken higher than A, everybody. Nah, grade S, grade scumbag. Perfect. Absolutely pitch perfect. Mwah. Chef's kiss. What did you get on your book report, son? Grade S? Oh, what the hell does that mean? Oh, it means scumbag. Son, I'm gonna have to have a chat with you, son, aren't I? Looking down at Geppetto, a small boy who just got finished writing a paper. You know you're supposed to take your engineering studies seriously, son. Don't disappoint me again, son. Oh, God. And I'm sure Howard must have been just, maybe he, not during the acting, but maybe now. There's like a little bit of a, I feel icky, condescending, like acting all condescending to people. Anyway, we found Geppetto, we found the red fox, we bribed her with gold coins so that we wouldn't have to kill her. We also made it all the way up to the top of the Abbey. Proceeded to dance with Simon a bunch, but then stopped when we realized, wait, there's a person who hasn't received closure in all this. Vanini. So we went back and found the Trinity Sanctum, and we found Vanini's parents' killer, Arlecchino, the king of riddles, who had the trapped ergo of a serial killer inside him. And it turns out Arlecchino murdered Vanini's parents. And the fact that a puppet murdered Vanini's parents was so profound that both Vanini and Pulcinella worked together to make sure they misdirected law enforcement as to who the real killer was so that Vanini wouldn't be a freaking orphan. On the one hand, this meant that Arlecchino has gone longer without answering for his crimes. On the other hand, you know, Arlecchino was never gonna bloody answer for his crimes anyway, because of the whole croc going to shit. So yeah, I'm glad that you're around to help Mr. Vanini. These two are fast friends, and that's how it needs to stay, ladies and gentlemen. I've read a really disturbing Reddit post, or a couple of really disturbing ones, depicting Vanini and Pulcinella as like lovers. Yuck, gross. That's not at all how that should be taken. Pulcinella literally uncled Vanini. That makes them more like a father and son pair rather than a lover pair, okay? We don't do that. We don't depict raising relatives as lovers. That's gross. It's on the same level as you know, I'm a step parent to someone, so technically I can have relations with them and sleep with them and all that fun stuff. That's just, it's creepy. It's ill-advised. Don't do this. Vanini and Pulcinella have the relationship they have, and they should not be shipped together in order to have some other relationship. That's disgusting. What else? We learned that Pulcinella hid an ego, because of course he did. He woke up to an ego long ago. He did not mentally delete himself. And I think there's other stuff that happened, but that's more or less it. It was 3.5 hours. Oh, we also went back and actually defeated Simon. We switched tactics and everything. So yeah, we were able to we're gonna head down now. What are we gonna find in the maws of the beast? Now at 5, I may be able to go until 5:10.
Now him, he really scared me. A human becoming a god? Terrifying. But a puppet becoming a human? Now you have my attention. Suit yourself, but sounds fun to me. I wonder, what'll happen now? I sure don't know. But I do know one thing. You're stuck with me, and I'm stuck with you, pal. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Wow, this is a long elevator ride. This is the part where Geppetto explains everything, right? Now, unfortunately, I went through all that just to have to go back, because there's one thing we forgot to do, kids. Just one. And I thought to do this earlier, but I forgot about it, if I'm being honest. You guys remember that puppet? We're not allowed to go back. Okay. Oh, it's because we have a stargazer. That's why. Alright, so before we deal with that, I'm glad that he has an icon for this. We need to go back to the barren swamp. Because do you guys remember that puppet that we were teaching to be human? There may or may not be one more gesture we can impart to it to make it really feel human. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, we saw Geppetto, who of course was never going to stay put.
Hello, my only friend. Hello, my only friend.
Huh, so there's a puppet. Now, in the interest of... Yeah, in the interest of making sure we don't miss anything, let's make sure we have all the gestures that we need. Okay. So there's nothing else. Alright. Well, kids, boys, girls, non-binary pals, let's go confront Geppetto. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't miss something. Now, we have missed a few things, There are a few keys we didn't read. But we will be getting those during the second playthrough. While I'm over at a client's house, starting today in approximately an hour and a half from now. 4:57. No, a little bit less than that. 4:57. 3 minutes. So in an hour and 33 minutes from now, I'll begin looking into the videos required to be able to handle the... I'm gonna look up in video format how to duplicate files for Lies of P. Because there are mods out there that do it. There are mods out there, just like there are mods for Dark Souls, Soulsborne games, or any other Souls-like game that has arcane file storage. There are mods out there that will copy files for you. But there are also legitimate means that won't flag anti-cheat software. And I would much prefer to do that if at all possible. Now, Geppetto. Also, did we ever read The Arm of God? Yeah, we did read this. Alright. Talk to me. And what are you looking at?
I knew you could do it. We have all the ingredients we need. I dreamed of this day for so long. The moment you'd come back to life. You can be human again by using that vast supply of ergo in the arm of God. I just need the final ingredient. The one that holds your memories and your lifespan. Your heart. If you give me your heart, all these trials and tribulations will be over. You have been a brilliant and a good boy. As your reward, I shall turn you into a real boy. Give me your heart, son.
Refuse.
I believed you were a good boy. But you insist on breaking my heart.
Damn right.
Well, I suppose Carlo was mischievous. It seems you inherited his personality instead of his memories. But a father always looks after his children. Even naughty ones that must be punished, like you. In my own way, I grew to love you. After all, you're the puppet who would bring my son back to life.
We learned. He said it himself.
I'm disappointed in you.
What venom?
I didn't mean for this to happen.
Yes, you bloody well did, Giuseppe Geppetto.
Believed you were a good boy.
You're posturing like you're gonna beat me.
Refuse. Then I'll have to retrieve it myself.
Insert obligatory Puppet Master song by Metallica here.
My son. You can Come to me, my son. I never brought you to the Grand Covenant like the other puppets because of Carlo's memory within you.
Wow, this guy really smarts.
I knew you'd gone astray. Troublesome little puppet. Freedom is not for you, Carlo. To the lash. There's no other way. You can't have those memories. I'll make you into a real human myself. After I lost you, life was full of nothing. If only I had spent more time with you. If only I had read your favorite book. Started to see. Forgive me, Carlo. Please regain your memory. You broke my heart, son. Come back to my arms.
Okay. He's gonna get serious now. Or is he? Yeah, I was about to say, this isn't over. That's too easy. Even though I didn't really perfect block him, I knew this was too easy somehow. There's the picturesque photo.
How dare you? You're just a puppet. Nothing more.
Right. Oh, right. Yep. I need to be careful and not... Now I'll turn you into a real human. Please let this not be a case of, you know, one time... Okay, good. Not one and done. Alright, let's maybe switch Legion arms here. Oh, I like how you can give your heart in the cutscene. Or not in the cutscene. Of course you could give it in the cutscene. I'm glad to know that you could give your heart like any time to stop fighting with Geppetto, like a real boy would be able to do. Most people would rather not kill their one and beloved son. But as we have learned the whole time, Geppetto has lied at every step of the way for us and led us along. We were never his son. We were only a memory for an abusive and neglectful dad to revive his son. That is the only thing we were here to do. Everything has led up to this. Everything. Absolutely everything. Let's do a bit better this time, shall we?
You can become a real human. Come to me, my son. I never bound you to the covenant like the other puppets because of Carlo's memory.
Did you just heal?
If you can't find those minerals, I'll make you a real king myself. After I lost them, life was full of nothing.
There you go. Let it all out, Geppetto. And you know what? I completely understand Geppetto's reasons. I will not begrudge a man his grief. He is allowed to want to bring back his son. And I'm willing to bet some part of what Geppetto was saying, the things that he did, were not lies. He is not... I may have called him a grade S scumbag. And yes, he lied. A lot. But unlike Simon, whose reasons were never defensible in the first place, and the most you could say is the man had a tragic backstory, here I could definitely say that Joseph over there, I can empathize with having dead family. We've all had dead family. We've all had someone we really loved in our family, maybe not our spouse, but a mom, a dad, somebody, and they passed on from this world. Most people, especially in our world, know that death is final. But what if death weren't final? Do you know how many people would attempt to bring someone back if death weren't final? Now, of course, depending on what you believe, death isn't final. But most of the belief systems out there, most religions, most philosophies, never talk about a non-final death for a living human. They talk about non-death of the spirit. That's what they're talking about. They're not talking about actually raising corpses from the dead to live a second life. They're not talking about a lich's phylactery or, you know, a pulse cell capable of keeping someone alive. They're not talking about a pacemaker being replaced as a human heart. That's not what pacemakers do. They're not a heart. They're not a mechanical heart. They're there to maintain the heart's rhythm because the heart itself no longer can. I can empathize with Joseph here, but what I can't do is I cannot forgive him for capitalizing on a very, very bad situation and helping Krot to spiral out of control. The puppet frenzy was Geppetto's doing. Vanini had only an accessory role to all this. Geppetto is the real perpetrator of the puppet frenzy. But even so, the only reason the puppet frenzy came to pass is because the alchemists and their carcasses were doing too much damage. Simon, and maybe even Valentinus himself. I'm not sure if Valentinus was doing the same things or doing similar things. I mean, he would never use his daughter. Let's start with that. But I wonder what we knew. I wonder what sort of lore or character development there really is for Valentinus. Because Sophia did talk about him, and we did read books. But we don't have all the answers yet. All the lore will probably more or less be revealed to us in the second playthrough when we actually collect everything. And we're allowed to piecemeal together. Hey there, Danny Walker. 92, welcome to the stream. Good to see ya. How are you doing? Hope you enjoy your stay. You're just in time. We're about to make more attempts at Geppetto. I'm sorry, at the Nameless Puppet. Just beat this game myself. What's your thoughts? Loved it. I love this game. I am a veteran Soulsborne and a veteran Souls-like player. I love it, and I love the attention to detail that NeoWiz Games and Round 8 Studios have to the story that Carlo Lorenzini, you know, the grandfather of all this, wrote with the Adventures of Pinocchio. You beat this dude like 2 hours ago? Very hard? Yeah. We're just now making serious attempts. I don't typically chit-chat during bosses, though, and especially not this one. So I will talk at you after this, but please feel free to comment on anything I'm doing, saying, or what's happening. Oh, you shoulder checked me? Okay. Yep.
You have gone astray. Troublesome little puppet.
Okay, yep. I would rather not block that, or try to perfect block that.
Carlo. No father wants to resort to the lash, but there's no other way. If you can't find peace, I'll be a real human myself. I lost you. My life was full of meaning.
Oh, nope, that was... Oh, I managed to reach him somehow? I should not be talking during this.
How dare you? You're just a puppet. Nothing more.
Oh, I thought it was out of range. Okay. I should honestly throw this attempt away anyway. We used way too many pulse cells for phase 1. As with all the bosses that have a second phase in this fight, that means we can't have a single or more than one pulse cell be used for a fight like this. You're good, I wouldn't talk during the fighting either. Now, this is just, this is not specifically at anybody, but just as a reminder, today I'm supposed to leave my house at around 5. Maybe closer to 5:15, but I need to make sure all my preparations for a client job that I have are finished. I have most of them finished already. I just need to get all my luggage together. And for those who don't know, I pet sit and house sit for a living. So think of me like a contract worker. I watch people's pets either while they're away from home or you know, I watch their house while they're gone. That type of thing. And once I get the cleaning section of the business up and running, I can be doing that too. But, I have a job that is supposed to start at 5:30, and I'll be gone until Sunday afternoon, I want to say. And then I should be back in time for Monday's stream. I don't normally stream on weekends either. But I just wanted to put that out there in case anybody was thinking, oh man, we're going to have multiple hours of this. I'll be lucky if I can give you guys another 40 minutes. I normally would have streamed at 1:30 p.m. today, but I crashed hard. So sorry about that again. Let's have another attempt at this.
You can become a real human. Come to me, my son. I never found the Grand Covenant like the other puppets because of those memories within you. I know you've gone astray. Troublesome. Freedom is not for you, for Carlo. No father wants to resort to blood. How dare you? You're just a puppet. Nothing more.
I should not have attacked during that huge leaping attack. Yeah, I was an idiot. I needed to just run away from him during all of that. Honestly, we were doing really good up to that point. We already got into phase 2. Now, for those who are wondering about my build, because that's the first thing I should have commented on, we are an advance and capacity build. I have just enough vitality to be comfortable. I have more than enough capacity to wear anything as long as we're not equipping a second Legion arm. I cannot do that, or else I would have brought Falcon Eyes into this fight. And we're using advance. I've been told and have been shown that that is the game on hard mode. You don't want to run an advanced build. You want to run a motivity build, a strength build, in other words, because those have the best weapons and you can literally use abrasives for any status effect you might need. But that was never my style. So we're playing the game on essentially a miniature hard mode. We're also running a Legion arm depleted build with RP organs, where I get sturdier the lower on pulse cells I am, or specifically while I'm out of pulse cells and I'm trying to charge one. I get the feeling that while I'm learning the game, something that takes advantage of new players' shortfalls is probably not a terrible build. We don't have any room for a Legion arm for this fight.
Real human. Come to me, my son. I never found you covered with the other puppets.
I should have used. Oh, we didn't even have Fable for that. I'll read that after the fight, promise. If I knew how to block that attack, that would be fantastic. I went technique the first run and had a blast with a puppet ripper and then the twin dragon sword. Yeah, I hear technique is the most fun, set of, sorry. I hear technique has really fun weapons. Now I do have a regular weapon or a special weapon that is technique based, because if we look at my stats, I do have more technique than motivity, but not by much. Literally just enough to take advantage of C-scaling on most things. I'm glad you enjoyed the Puppet Ripper and the Twin Dragon Sword. Which one of those do you prefer, by the way? And while you're answering that, time for yet another attempt. Also, we're not really using our Legion cartridges for much else. Oh, we never redeemed that Ergo. Might need to do it afterwards. Let's go ahead and use the Fable Catalyst so we can have it. Oh wait, you said you just beat him. How long have you been playing the game, if you don't mind my asking? But I guess make that 2 questions I'm asking about here.
I've never bound you to the great covenant like the other puppets, because of Carlo's memories.
I got it at that time? Alright.
I know you have gone astray. Some little puppet. Freedom is not freedom.
Puppet Ripper is cooler to use. Twin Dragon Sword has a higher skill curve, but becomes really fun. Makes sense. Took me around 30 hours, all in all. Just over. Nice. I think it's taken us a little bit longer, but we're going for 100% Let's Play. Also, Twitch, say hi to YouTube for those that are interested in doing so. We are multi-streaming to YouTube.
How dare you? You're just a puppet. Nothing more.
It's the yellow flash. That's when I need to block. Okay. I will answer that as soon as I can. Now is not the best time. Yeah, I'm gonna throw this away. Yep. Too many pulse cells used without a single hit in phase 2. Yep, just gonna throw that out. Throw it out. Should have thrown it out in the bath water. Which did I find to be the hardest boss? Well, I don't know about the nameless puppet yet. We're fighting him. It's the first time I'm going up against him. Mid-fight, dude. No, thank you. I appreciate the latitude. Definitely, so far, Lysacia. It took me a while to learn how to say that. Thank you again for the follow, Danny Walker. Glad you can be in our fold or flock. Well, before I continue, for anyone who follows in or subscribes, I'm going to recommend the Discord. Join that if you like. We're a small, quaint little community, and I am looking to bolster it every single day. It's a relatively quiet server. So if you like quiet servers, you'll like that Discord. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yes, actually answering your question, it is Lysacia. I didn't use a Spectre on her. I thought I was going to have to use one. We were able to kill her without doing that. But my god, 12 hit combos. Like, seriously, what the heck? Lysacia was tough for me, but for some reason the boss that actually took me the longest was the Brotherhood's second fight. Didn't use any Spectres the whole game. You tried so hard not to. I did for the most part as well, because in a Souls-like game, you don't want to be reliant on summons, but since this is a Let's Play, a 100% Let's Play, I did have to showcase the Spectres. So there were 2 fights in which I showcased the Spectres, one for just showcasing overall how Spectres work, and that was, I want to say, the Scrapped Watchman, and the other was when we got use of the Wish Stones that enhance Spectre activity, or Spectre function. Since I had to demonstrate those, I used that Spectre on the Green Monster. That was the one fight that I actually consciously used a Spectre on. But both of those fights were for demonstration purposes only. For sure, I have no issues with using Spectres. If people want to use them to help them enjoy the game, exactly. It's nice to hear people say that. I read all the time on subreddits, and even just on places like Twitter or the occasional Facebook post I just happen to scroll past, of just the most awful elitists. This game has been rebalanced over and over again because NeoWiz and Round 8 Studios actually care about the people that want to play through their story. They did all kinds of balancing adjustments from what I've read. And it's nice that the game isn't quite so rough around the edges, and there are systems in place for people that just want to enjoy the story. However, if you want the true ending, you're gonna have to pony up at least a little bit of skill. Some people think it's almost cheating if you use them, which is nuts. Crazy. I personally want to beat the bosses without them, but if you felt the need to use one, you absolutely would. Yep, this is 100% a product of Dark Souls, specifically Dark Souls 1. This wasn't a thing that arose during Demon Souls. Strictly Dark Souls 1 is when the gatekeeping started, and ever since Dark Souls or Soulsborne style games have gotten a challenge running community behind them, it has spiked pretty consistently. But those people, their machismo ends at the keyboard. Most of the time, those same people will then offer up complaints about a boss being overtuned or something else. What happened to get good? What's good for the goose is good for the gander, as I always say. Let's make another attempt at this. But I'm glad to know that we're on the same wavelength about that. It's not cheating. It's there if you actually need it. There was an interview done by Miyazaki, the lead dev for FromSoft, who basically barely beat his entire Elden Ring by using summons and consumables and everything else. And all those things are considered cheating by the gatekeeping community that FromSoft games have garnered over the years. People also laughed, which I think was a little bit rude, but nonetheless, it's clobbering time.
You can become a real human. Come to me, my son. I never used the Grand Covenant like because of Carlo's memories within you. I know you have lost troublesome little puppy. Freedom is not for you, but for Carlo.
Nope, too early.
No father resort to the land, but there's no other way. If you can't find those memories, I'll make you into a real human myself. After I lost life was nothing but If only I had spent more time with you. If only I had read your favorite book. Just how dare you? You're just a puppet. Nothing more.
Nope, run. Really? Alright. Wishstone time. Yeah, I shouldn't have used a wishstone. I should have just been preparing to die. Gotta start chucking out bad attempts at some point, or I'm never going to get past it. Some good parries there, thank you. Getting better. It's really just the unblockables. He's very quick. I felt the same way about Lysacia. It's why I have the electric chainsaw handle, because there's some things I just don't think I've got the reflexes to parry. And there's a meme circulating around like, figure out the exact angle before you need to press the block button. It's a meme that's been circulating Reddit a lot, and I think it's funny and true at the same time. It's hard to judge the attack angles, especially when they vary up the swings as much as they do. It's nuts. So I have the ability to kind of like temporarily tank the attacks. I'm not a motivity build, but I think it's one of the best motivity handles I could ever ask for.
Come to me, my son. Never into the grand covenant of puppets. Carlo's memories with it. I know you have promised me. Troublesome puppet.
I need to grind here.
Your freedom is not for you, but Carlo. No thought is to resort to the lash, but throw away. If you can't find those memories, I'll make you a real human myself.
Thank you, Clavis. Good to see you, good sir. I'll give you a shout out in just a moment. Okay, quickly. If you guys don't know who Clavis is, go check them out. They play a little bit of everything. Friday the 13th, Gran Turismo, Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth. Lots of stuff. But please do go check them out. They work really hard on their content. I'm going to ask how you're doing, Clavis. Please feel free to answer, but I will be unable to actually reply meaningfully until after the boss.
How dare you? You're just a puppet. Nothing more.
I need to grind right now. Okay, I need to get out of this corner really quick. Oh, you can do that, can you? Okay, got him. I haven't streamed much lately over in Estonia. Let's go, GG. Doing good, glad to hear it, Klebus. Drinking some apple cider. I could go for some apple cider right now, since I don't have any. Wow, you're actually not a complete S, grade S, scumbag, Geppetto.
Going to destroy Carlo's heart.
That is the one true daddy thing he did. Let me get my controller off my table before bad things happen. I didn't think I was gonna do that. I thought we were gonna have to have another stream in the 22nd about this, but no. But I stand by what I said. Geppetto, a grade S scumbag though you may be, I can at least empathize with your reasoning. I understand your pain. So, Danny Walker, to more succinctly answer your question, because we've completed this fight, Lysacia is...
Sorry.
Lysacia is the hardest fight for me by far. She's really cool, but she's really difficult. I think Klebus was also here when we were doing attempts on Lysacia. Lysacia is the electric lady in iron armor plating that had a completely Melania-esque second phase. I'm Elden pilled, ladies and gentlemen, so... forgive me if my analogies use Elden Ring in them. For those who don't know, I'm normally a challenge runner for Elden Ring, and specifically a mod called Elden Ring Reforged. So, Lies of P was very much in my wheelhouse. My patrons and my subs all voted on this. This was what they wanted to see. Or rather, they voted to allow me to do it. We got the true ending, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for the GGs, everybody. Glad they did. Such a great game. So excited to get into New Game Plus. Me too. There's still one or two things I want to do before, we at least step foot into it, and we need to step foot into New Game Plus so that I can have the...
It's so good to see you.
Does she not have a bra on, or am I like? Am I delusional? I don't care. That's similar to the healer in the lake from Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne in 5, but in honor of the great writer Carlo Collodi. Next game for me is Lords of the Fallen. Only Souls-like I've not done yet. Heard mixed things. I did buy Lords of the Fallen and did a bit of playtesting with it. It's Omega Clunk. I'm trying to think if there's like a previous. So Lords of the Fallen's like a reboot of the previous Lords of Fallen, and that game, Lords of the Fallen, excuse me, that game was also Clunk. Basically, don't treat your dodge as though you actually dodge through things. Think of it more like Risen or trying to think here. Think of it like Piranha Bytes style games. Arcania, Risen, Elix. The dodge is there to get you out of the way before an attack. And that's like the hardest thing you've got to unlearn if you're gonna play with Lords of the Fallen. I also read a lot of mixed things too. I look forward to showcasing that on stream eventually, provided Elden Ring Reforged doesn't have a true compatibility patch for the DLC yet. As long as the mod development team is working on it, we get to play other Souls-likes or other games in general. This would be the time to tell you guys. I'm glad they voted on this too. If you guys, what's your favorite of all the Souls-likes? I haven't played that many yet, if I'm being honest. Let's see, out of the ones I've played, I would kind of call Neo as like a pseudo Souls-like, but I like that. For you, it's Bloodborne. It's one of the two Soulsborne games I haven't played. The other one being Demon Souls. Klebus kind of clued me into eyeballs on remake efforts by a group of modders, I want to say. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes on that. For all the Soulsborne, like just within FromSoft's wheelhouse, Dark Souls 2. It's the one I have the softest spot for. But in terms of gameplay and mechanics, even I would have to be a fool not to admit that Dark Souls 3 is just the better one. Modders? Nah, Nix's is Sony. My mouth sticks together often and I blur words together. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Nix's is Sony-owned studio. Okay, so Sony is coming out with the remake. Thanks. I've not had a chance to read over all of that. I'm really sorry. We only got water back in the house today, and as people on my Discord already know, I crashed hard and woke up late. We were supposed to be streaming at 1:30. It's 4:52, and we've only just now crossed the 1 hour threshold. But those are all excuses. But getting back to Danny Walker's question, because I didn't actually fully answer it. For the block of games that belong specifically to FromSoft, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, although Elden Ring is a much better play than either of those. Out of all the Souls-like games, this one. I also have Lords of the Fallen. Darksiders 3, I hear, is pseudo Souls-like. And we also have Steel Rising, which I've also play-tested a chunk of. Steel Rising was also pretty good for the parts I was able to play. And I can't wait to show that one either. Excuse me. But if you're gonna play Lords of the Fallen, going back one more sentence, just be prepared, you're really gonna have to unlearn some reflexes for Lords of the Fallen. You're gonna have to learn some new ones. There's also a lot of button combination pressing. left trigger, right trigger, left bumper, plus some other button. There's a lot of that going on. And let me tell you, on a controller like this, that's hard. I used to be a Soul Calibur junkie. That's a fighting game for those who don't know. And pressing more than 2 buttons at a time, like claw gripping your controller. I want to be careful not to skip here. Trying to like... I kind of have to go through a weird reverse claw grip. If you're having to use like 3 or 4 fingers like this on a controller, I could never do that. I always map the button combinations beyond 2 buttons into the controller. See, I'm not too fussy about things with games. Me either. I like what I like, which is why I try not to let reviews make my mind up for you. Yeah, me too. There's many games and movies that a lot of people consider bad, but you enjoy. That's true. Yep. For every horrible horror movie, there's at least a niche cult following for it. Same thing with games. There's this one game that I've started watching recently called Darkened Sky with an E on the end. It's corporateware, as I call it. It's a game about Skittles. It's got saucy voice acting, but the whole thing is a plug for Skittles. Absolutely. All the artifacts have an S on them, and they're colored orbs. If that isn't Skittles, I don't know what is. But there's a cult following for stuff like that. Pepsi Man too, now that I think about it. Although Pepsi Man's supposed to be vintage from what I hear. I've never played Pepsi Man. I've only ever heard about it. Are we just going through all the records right now? I think we're going through all the actual records. For me, as an entertainer and content creator, I also have a YouTube channel, and I do post videos to that. Provided you're willing to put up with half-finished series. I know, I'm the laughing stock of YouTube. There's not a single series I've done in which I've actually finished it. Stuff usually ended up happening that caused the series to stop for some reason. I have to be a little bit more poignant and cognizant about reviews because they inform like my purchasing decisions. For games. Like Lies of P, Neo is the credits are actually over. New leak from PlayStation Studio. Leak looks very Naughty Dog. Seems like they're going even more dark than their next game. We still talking about Bloodborne? Are we talking about a different game now? I think we're actually talking about a different game here.
Final report on the Crod experiment.
You certainly took your time, Paracelsus. Your findings?
I think we have a new brother. A new type of humanity, so to speak.
There are many forms of eternal life.
It's intriguing and worth further observation.
Noted. And we'll have to get his arm back anyway.
I'm counting on it. Expect another report at the next meeting. Paracelsus returning. Ah, and when I return, I will find her. For sure. Another key of ours. Dorothy.
So, I knew you were lying to us the entire time, Gyanjo. Or Paracelsus, that's the name I should use. Ah, the Wizard of Oz. The wonderful Wizard of Oz. If you start the next playthrough, you won't be able to continue the current playthrough. The items below will not be inherited. All collectibles except records, we get to keep those. Crot supply boxes and Vanini collections. Okay, we don't want to start the next playthrough yet. We still need to go read a letter. There's a letter on Geppetto's desk that I know about from having to read in advance to make the thumbnails for YouTube. Also, we have to talk to everybody and see if they have anything to say. Probably not Paul and Dina, but we're going to talk to him anyway. I really like the world they're creating. I hope for more games with more dark fairy tale type stories. Yep, there's a new term for this. They're going to call it the Fableverse. It's not something that NeoWiz or Round 8 has said explicitly. It's more like a fan term for the games that'll be coming after. Because NeoWiz has confirmed they're working on another game. They're going to call that the Fableverse. Because of course people would call it the, something related to the multiverse. Naughty Dog, the creators of Last of Us and Uncharted. Okay, so different company. Gotcha.
Welcome, Toad.
Nope, you gave up your ego, my friend. I also like the world they're creating. I said this on the last stream, and I'll say it here. I'm gonna head out now, brother. I'll be back in for sure. I'm about to drive. Can't keep watching. Definitely be back. GG in completing the game. Thanks, Danny Walker. We'll actually be calling the stream relatively soon, so I really recommend that at some point you join the Discord so you can stay in touch with when I'm gonna go live next time. Because I gotta make sure I finish getting ready for my client job, but definitely will. Thank you. Safe travels, safe driving, and watch your six out there. The leak could also be controlled as there's rumors for the next PlayStation showcase. Take care, you too, Danny Walker. Thank you so much for being here. Safe travels to you, and I'll see you around next time. Next PlayStation showcase, huh? Yeah, although I thought with how hard... I know the PS5 is, like, popular, but I want to say given how scarce the parts for it are, I would think that they would be holding off on console development. I realize that's a rumor, and you can't really confirm one way or the other. Hold on one moment, guys. I think next showcase we're gonna see some crazy shit. Me too. Me too. I'm hoping for it because Sony really lost. Nintendo was never in this race. It was always Sony and Microsoft. And I'm a Nintendo kid. I love my Nintendo franchises. Metroid Prime and like the Metroid series is my favorite series, hands down. It's been the most impressionable series for me, but I know who the real competitors are because Nintendo has bowed out themselves. Their CEOs have gone on record saying that. If Sony wants to compete with Microsoft, they gotta step up their game, or they're going to lose on a more permanent level to them. We need to see what the new there's new leadership? We need to see what the new PlayStation leadership is gonna do. Microsoft is already giving up on Europe. Aww. Thank you very much, Devious Grace, for that raid. Welcome on in, welcome on in. How are you doing, my fine lady? Let's give her a shout out. Playing some more Fallout 4? Nice. And take a look at the Twitch panel for just a second, and then I'm gonna try to multitask here. That's gonna go over real well. I'm right-handed, so I'm controlling with my right, but I'm not even really looking at it with my right. Sorry, keyboard's being a butt. No problem, Devious. You came in right at the end of stream. We're doing the last little bits of roundup before we call it good for this evening.
You have been such a great help to Master Vanini. I will do my best to be of assistance in return.
Okay, that's one.
This great disaster, the Krat crisis, has left no one unaffected. But it's over now, thanks to you. We are all in pain. We're all hurting. But now it's time to begin healing. I will do everything I can to help. Together, compagno, I think we really can make Krat, if not the entire world, a better place.
And I look forward to it, Vanini. But at least before we cross the threshold into New Game Plus. PlayStation with 6 is going to do regular consoles and handhelds. Yeah, that's what I would expect. It's still sad that Microsoft has decidedly given up on Europe. I feel bad for you guys, at least as far as the gaming space is concerned. That almost went up my nose. If you guys don't know, what is Xbox Kappa? We could say the same thing about what is PlayStation. At least I can.
So much has happened. It's bewildering. But it feels like there is hope. Even here in godforsaken Krat. It's all because of you. So thank you. Though I suspect you haven't told me everything.
But for real in Europe, Xbox is pretty much dead. That's so sad.
I've made up my mind. I am going to keep living to honor Atkinson's sacrifice. Someone needs to tell everyone out there what happened in Krat. I'm gonna look for a way out again. Thanks for all your help. I hope Krat finds fortune soon.
But it means I've started believing you'd better now. What, Aniv? Aniv's a Markov chain algorithm AI bot. Hello. Oh, Hugo, you have to be wearing his mask.
Oh, did I scare you? It's me, Hugo.
Yeah, I thought so.
This whole thing has inspired me. I'm going to try to be the Aladoro of a new generation. I will also keep looking for the relic's true owner. Check in with me anytime. A great weapon calls for a great... Sorry, no, pronouncements aren't my thing. As always, prove that you're worthy.
I will, Hugo. And then we have the Fallen Ones ergo and the Nameless Puppets ergo. Oh, I'm going to try to get through this quick, guys. Sorry, I am running out of time, and I want to read as many things as I can. The Nameless Puppets ergo. Hopefully you're doing well, Devious Grace. Hopefully you're doing well. Thank you again for the raid. The Nameless Puppet was the first puppet made by the old man that was mounted with a P organ. Its ergo efficiency was not just unremarkable, it was destructive. Thus, the Nameless Puppet was not chosen for the boy's body and sealed away. And then we had... That's just Wishstone stuff. Now we have weapons to kind of quickly gloss over and read, along with medallions, of course. Noblesse oblige. A mystical cudgel made from an ergo crystal tree. Looks like one. While battering enemies and emits spores, increasing the ergo acquisition rate. Oh, we need this weapon. The stalker who desired wealth made a contract with the devil that liked music to gain a cudgel. Along with this, he was gifted with overflowing ergo and the petrification disease. And then we have the proof of humanity. A giant scissor blade. Edward Scissorhands, anyone? Used by the Nameless Puppet. It is a double-edged sword that can end one's freedom, or grant it by cutting the strings of manipulation. Puppets are tied to strings. Humans have cut their own strings. The boy made a choice and became human. And then as for arts, we have ergo release on the noblesse. A downward blow consumes a set amount of ergo to deal big damage to enemies. And we also have endure. Great, I love that. Allows you to temporarily withstand the enemy's attack. It's the same one I have on my electric handle. And then here we have Link Slash, which we've seen before, and Grind. Increase critical hit chance temporarily. Finally, we have the Amulet, and we have the Piercing Hatred Amulet. When God awakens, he will be like a bird who has just cracked open his shell. He will possess tremendous abilities that can change the world, yet be as innocent as a child. Among Simon Manus' sayings. And then finally, oh, right. Increases Fable Arts damage inflicted on a staggered enemy. But you usually go for Fatals. Oh, that's interesting. Immunity to all attribute status ailments. It is unknown whether the nameless puppet had an ego. This is because multiple cores hold a concentrated ergo were used to boost its firepower. If this puppet could feel only one emotion, it would be hatred. Well... We have a sword. Of course they're, you know, motivity weapons. We're gonna grab the amulets. Actually, we're gonna grab the Oblige, and I guess we're gonna grab the Piercing Hatred Amulet. Last thing we're gonna do is, I know about the letter on Geppetto's desk. We're also going to see if... I want to say Gyanjo is gone, because he was revealed to be Paracelsus, and he's moved on to go find Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz series. The Letter of the Eternal. I had a good time. It's amazing to see a new brother being born. I hope to meet you again sometime on the eternal line of time. PP. And then we have the suitcase containing the wish stones. So we can use those anytime. Let's go to Geppetto's desk, shall we? Got this one last little thing I want to eke out before I gotta shut the door. I want to thank everybody again for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I wasn't expecting all this company, like at all, for the last stream. I was sort of expecting it to be quiet. But it's nice to have people who are here. I really do mean that. The the blue butterfly's letter. I thought we were gonna get one from Geppetto. I guess we did, technically. Or maybe we didn't. Where is it? Oh, I think we need the other ending for that. Okay. Thank you for giving me a new life. The fact that an ergo puppet can have a second life and become another kind of human requires more time for people to find out about it. Until then, I won't return to the hotel, but plan to stay at this place. The place that we were at, by the way, where P transferred Sophia's ergo back to her, that was at the top of the Arch Abbey, like the Arch Abbey, period. It's not a cathedral coin. That's where she was sitting, is at the top, right outside the arena where we fought Simon. The Krot disaster has stopped. Still, there's the aftermath of the petrification disease in the puppets. Please heal the wounds for the people. You're the reason we have our freedom. Thank you so much. I'm grateful you freed me from my puppet strings. What did... We got like a costume, I think? Had to have. I saw something here. Oh, we also got a gesture. Entreat. Perform the entreat gesture. Grief and tears had become daily life in Krot. The puppets gathered those tears and made them theirs. I can imagine. Now, what did we... Nope, I guess not. Oh, alright then. Okay, that's it. That's absolutely it, folks. For those of you on YouTube and Twitch, thank you again so much for hanging out with me. Unfortunately, I gotta cut and run. I don't have time to do any shout-outs or raids or anything. But seriously, this stream has been a blast. Of course, I'm gonna have to make a thumbnail for Monday, but I'll have to do that on Sunday. I'll be too busy at a client's house. My name is Coinstamp, or Swirling Vortex, or Steven. Call me whatever would make you more comfortable. You guys know the algorithmic stuff to do. Make sure you follow, subscribe on Twitch and YouTube respectively. Check out the description on YouTube and underneath the stream for Twitch if you want access to the Discord. If you want access to the other Discord that I'm part of, Obta Network. Those people are also fun folks. And with that, love you guys. Stay safe out there. You're welcome in my hallowed halls anytime, of course. And with that, goodbye.